So let's see now how we can get started using Sass in Visual Studio. So I'm going to go and create an empty ASP.NET web application. And we'll just choose an empty project here. So let's start off by creating just a simple HTML file. So we'll go and add a new item, simple HTML page here. We'll just call it default HTML. And we'll add that. So the first thing we need to do is install Web Workbench. So if I go to Tools, Extensions and Updates, and if we just search online, and we can see Mindscape Web Workbench here, and this tick mark is telling me that I've already got this installed, but this is how you'd go and install it if you haven't already got it installed. So now we've got a HTML file and Web Workbench installed, we can go and create our first Sass file. So to do this, I'm going to go to Add New Item, and if we have a look in the item templates here for the web templates, if we just scroll down here, we can see this SCSS style sheet. So because I'm using Visual Studio 2013 Update 2, we get access to this Sass file template. If you're using an older version of Visual Studio, you'll also see the Sass file template here, which comes from Web Workbench. So let's just go and choose this one for now, and we'll just leave it as style sheet 1. And notice now that we get our Sass file. So let's go and add some CSS here. I'm just going to create a Sass variable. And don't worry about these variables at the minute, we'll cover them in more detail in the next module. So here we're just setting a variable and using it down here in the background color. And if we have a look in our Solution Explorer, and I'll just pin this here to make it easy to see, we can see that we've got this Sass file but no actual .css file. So to create this, all we need to do is save our Sass file, and then Web Workbench will do its thing and create our CSS for us. And if we open up this CSS, we can see that it's just plain vanilla CSS, and we've got our background color here. So now that we've got our output CSS, we can go and reference it in our web application. So in the simplest case, this could be a HTML file. Let's go and add a reference to our CSS now. And notice here that we're choosing the stylesheet1.css and not the stylesheet1.scss, because the CSS file here is the output from our Sass file. So let's go and reference that. So now we're referencing our CSS file that's being generated from our Sass file here. So if we run this now, we should see a background color of red. When we want to change our styles, we head to our source Sass file here, and we just change the styles. We then save our Sass file, which will go and regenerate our CSS. We can see here that red has now changed to green. And then when we open our page again, we get the new styles.